Hello guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is actually future Claire filming here because I wasn't intending to make this video, however I got loads of nice clips and I kind of just wanted to document my journey really. So while we were down in Sydney we hired a car and we were with some friends and we did a few little road trips, and so I just thought, you know what, it might be nice to make a little YouTube video about all the fun things that we did. So you're going to see me pop up here and then just explaining what these videos are, but yeah, sit back, relax, enjoy the video, and hopefully it'll give you a few ideas of places you can road trip around Sydney and also places that you can go to on the way up to the Gold Coast. So in the car we eventually drove from Sydney all the way up to Brisbane and stopped off at a few places on the way. So yeah, enjoy the video. We are currently on a hike in a national park and it's been absolutely gorgeous, to be fair. It's been quite cloudy up until now and not too warm, and it's been pretty good. So we've just seen some what we think is Aboriginal art. It's kind of cool. And we also found this little waterfall, which I have to say online it looked like it was going to be really spectacular, but I think because it's been summer here and it's been a bit cooler, not a bit cooler, a bit warmer, there's not that much water. But yeah, it's been really interesting hiking. We've avoided all spiders and bugs so far, so doing good. Oh, and we did see not a kangaroo, the other one, I forget what it's called, a wallaby. We think we saw a wallaby in the wild, which is very exciting. Yes, I think the plan is we're just walking back on the main track now. I was literally in the bush before, but yeah, just walking back to the car, and then I think we're going to go find somewhere else. It's really pretty in the national park, but they close fairly early, so we're going to have to be out before it gets dark. But to be honest, I'm not sure I want to be walking around outside in the dark. I am a bit scared of the snakes and the spiders and all that jazz, so probably better to avoid it really. Claire again, and as you can see just from the videos that you just watched, we went to Ku-ring-gai Chase National Park on one of our day trips from Sydney, and it was absolutely stunning. I really wish we'd allocated a little bit more time to be able to go around there and see things in a bit more detail, really, not feel like we were rushing from place to place, and potentially go back for a couple more days, because I just felt like there was so much more to be seen that we didn't have time to do. But if you get the chance, definitely go and visit there, because it is really stunning. You probably do need a car for that one. As far as I'm aware, public transport to get there isn't that great, and when you're in the national park, there's a huge amount to see, so to be able to move around fairly easily, you probably do need a car or something like that. But otherwise, absolutely beautiful. Like the beach that we went to, I'm so sad that I didn't have my swimming stuff with me, because I would have loved to have just gone in the water there and just chilled, because it was absolutely gorgeous. And then after that, the next day we went to the Blue Mountains, and we were with some friends and they really wanted to go to the Scenic World. And it's almost like, I guess it's almost like being in a theme park, because you've got the rides that show you around. But if I'm being completely honest, if I was going again, I wouldn't bother paying for it. Everything that I saw, except from going down to the rainforest floor, you could basically do without having the pass. You could walk to all the viewpoints, see all the views, and it was gorgeous. Like, the views were insane, don't get me wrong. However, I've been in a cable car before, and I think if you've never been in one, then it's an amazing experience and definitely do it. But if you're there to see the views, then I wouldn't waste your money paying to go to Scenic World. I'd just go there and go to Katoomba and just walk around yourself. There are loads of trails around there and you can still see exactly the same things. I don't think you can go on the boardwalk at the bottom. I think that's owned by Scenic World, but let's be honest, there is so much rainforest around there that you can go around the rainforest on your own, just take yourself off on a walk, and you'd get exactly the same experience. So if I was going again, definitely wouldn't bother paying for the Scenic World Pass. And again, I wish we'd been able to spend a bit more time there. If I get a chance, I would love to go back again and just explore a bit more, because again, there's so much to do, there's so much to see, and it was just so beautiful. And we found this waterfall nearby and went swimming, and oh my gosh, it was freezing in there, considering how warm it had been that day. It must have been like 30-35 degrees that day, and the water was, it was like that sort of water where you put your foot in and it goes numb, but everybody else went in, so I was like, oh, I've got to go in. And what you can't see from the video, and I don't have a video to show you, but I genuinely probably stood there for about 10 minutes umming and ahhing as to whether I was going to get in or not, because it was that cold. But I'm so glad that I did, because it was really lovely and refreshing. And it was such an insane experience, because we basically had to walk down to the bottom of that canyon to get to the waterfall, and it was steep. Like, there was some steps at one point and they were vertical. I think I've got a photo, so I'll try and insert it just here. But yeah, there was steps going down to get to this waterfall, and they were completely vertical, and there was quite a few other bits where it was really, really slippy going down, but so worth it, because that was so much fun. But yeah, so that was a couple of the day trips that we did from Sydney with our car. And then the next bits that you're going to see are our road trip up to Brisbane. So I believe we did our road trip over sort of 5-6 days, I think. And as you'll see in the videos, it was actually my birthday while we were on the road. So we did have like a little celebration, and yeah, we stopped off at loads of fun places along the way. So I hope you enjoy.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room, and damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall. here praying that this night's gonna last. You got it all on tap, I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I fall.
So day 5 of our road trip, I unfortunately don't have much footage for, but it was one of the really exciting days as well, which is a little bit of a shame. We started off in Byron Bay in the morning and we'd actually booked a surfing lesson, and we were so excited because I've only ever surfed once before and everybody else I think had never done it before, so we were really looking forward to it. We turned up to the surfing place and got bussed off in this little minibus because apparently the waves were too rough. Oh, knocking the mirror behind me. The waves were too rough at Byron Bay itself, so we went slightly further down the coast, got there, really rough there as well, so then they bussed us to somewhere else. And basically the guy was like, I'm gonna have to ask my manager if it's okay for us to actually go out today because the waves are really strong. Anyway, long story short, we did eventually manage to go out. The waves were very strong, the current was super strong. We were going just in the shallows and the instructor was holding the board, we were hopping on and then trying to stand up. And I did manage to do it pretty much every single time, which was so much fun. However, towards the end, I got stung by a jellyfish. So I got stung by a blue bottle jellyfish. I think what had happened was they're really tiny, like they're literally like this big, but they have really long tails. And I think this one was between my legs and the tail had like got wrapped slightly around my leg. So it genuinely felt like someone had like slapped me around the back of the legs. And I was like, oh no, I've been stung by a jellyfish. So then I got out as fast as I could and I had like red marks all over my legs. And unfortunately, I think it was just the weather because there hadn't been any on the beach earlier on and then the wind had changed direction or something. And one of the instructors was saying something about they usually only wash up on the shore and they're usually only in the shallows when the wind's blowing in a certain direction or the tide's coming in a certain direction. I'm not too sure. There's quite a few other people that got stung. One girl, hers was pretty bad. It had literally wrapped around one of her legs and it looked like she had like a red line running around her leg. So not ideal, but yeah, it was fine. Like I said, it just really stung. Felt like someone slapped me around the back of my legs. I had to hop up and down a little bit, and then the instructor gave, I don't even know what it was, he had this bottle from the medical bag and just poured like this liquid on and it sort of calmed it down a bit, which was nice. And yeah, pretty much by the next day it was gone. So it was unpleasant, but it wasn't horrific. So yeah, I won't be too scared about getting stung by them again, but also at the same time, I'm not going to go swimming if there's loads of them about, just because why would you? There's plenty of other times to go. But otherwise, the surfing was so much fun, and I'm hoping that at some point we can have some more lessons and get a bit more practice in, because I felt like I was just getting to the point where I was getting consistent with standing up and then the lesson ended. So hopefully another time we can do that. And then afterwards we had lunch first at this little cafe that's next to the surfing place, and the food was really, really good. All starving by that point because I think we had to be there for sort of 8:30 in the morning, and we got back at about 12:30, 1ish, so we'd had a lot of time in the water, and so we're really, really hungry by that point. So had some lunch, and then after that we actually headed up to Gold Coast, which was our next destination. So we drove up to Gold Coast and we were staying at a place called Surfers Paradise. I think it's like a part of Gold Coast, and yeah, it was absolutely gorgeous. Our Airbnb was really, really beautiful. So we stayed there, and then in the evening we wandered over to the beach and we got on the tram and just went for some food and went for some drinks, and it was just really, really lovely. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Day 6, the last day of our road trip. So again, I don't have an awful lot of footage from this, but it was kind of sad because we knew that our friends are leaving us that day. So they'd only actually come over to Australia for a month, and so they'd done about 2-ish weeks with us, and then they were going up to Cairns and some other places as well before heading back to the UK. So it was our last day with them. So we got up early and then we drove up to Brisbane, and they were flying out from the airport, so we dropped them off at the airport, gave the hire car back, and me and my boyfriend, we actually stayed in Brisbane for a few days. So we headed into Brisbane, got some food, and then we went to our new Airbnb, which was this gorgeous high-rise apartment building, and we had a lovely, lovely little apartment. It was beautiful. It had an outdoor area with loads of plants, and the thing that was super exciting about it was that on the top floor, which I think was something ridiculous, like the 20th floor, there was a lot of floors in this place, there was a infinity pool and a gym, and it was just so amazing. Like, it genuinely felt like a dream being in this place. I can't believe something like that was on Airbnb for the price that it was. We got it super cheap, and usually something like that I could never have afforded to stay in, and it was just so surreal. The views were insane, and it was so lovely being able to go to the gym every morning and then go for a dip in the pool afterwards, and then just head back down to our apartment and just chill in there. It was really, really lovely, and it was so nice to be able to just sit back, chill and relax after having essentially been super busy for over a week, doing all the road tripping, doing all the driving, because me and my boyfriend were the only ones that drove the car, so we were having to take it in turns while the others were just chilling. So we were pretty tired actually after all the driving, but honestly it was so, so lovely. And this Airbnb, like I said, in Brisbane was just gorgeous. And so we had a few days in Brisbane, wandered around, went to the Botanic Gardens, and yeah, that was pretty much the end of our road trip really. So I'm gonna close the vlog off here, and thank you so much if you stuck with it all the way through. I know it's a little bit of a long one, but hopefully you've enjoyed seeing what we've got up to, and yeah, hopefully you'll join me on my next Australian adventure. I'll see you soon, guys. Bye.